Nevermore. If you've never heard Lou Reed's The Raven, Reading of the Raven, I'll try to find it on YouTube. I doubt it's there. But if I could find Lou Reed's The Raven and link it in the description, I will do that. Because it sounds just like fucking, what's his name? The actor. And it's just like, it's a great, it's great. And I've been using it. I've listened to it over and over and over again. Because I'm listening to the Shuoer Tape Pros. Finally, these were delivered to my old apartment, and I had to get them. I had to wait for a friend to stop by to pick them up, and it took like 6 weeks longer than I thought it was going to be. So I apologize. What is in the box, actually? Hold on. 10 millimeter dynamic and electrostatic. So instead of using a dynamic and a BA, it's using a dynamic and a electrostatic, which is really an electret. And this is the Pro version. They already had the tapes, the Shuoer tapes, and I loved those. They're in my box, actually, still. So, comparing those to these, because I had to listen to those, these are definitely a little baby bit more refined in, like, the mid-range. Then, they go and fuck it up by giving me all these options to change shit. Luckily, my set was a pre-production set, because it was delivered months ago. And I didn't get all the little interchangeable screw-in things, so I couldn't adjust the bass and tuning. So we're going to have to go on the stock set. I should probably take them out of my ears in a second. Put this down. I guess we'll go over the accessories real quick. Box, simple, cardboard with foam inside. Here's the case. Look, it says Shuoer-cn.com, and it's a little, like, waterproof fake leather. And the zipper is a waterproof zipper that has like no gap. So that's nice. And that's literally it. That. And then it comes with a little plastic miniature hard case for these 6 tips, but not for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tips, because these just don't deserve a case, I guess. So those are there. Different types slightly. I am, of course, using Dakoni foams because that's just what fits me. And they don't come with any foams. And I'm wondering if the S's, the sharp S's, are because of what I'm listening to. It is a 2.5 millimeter by default on the end of the wire, which we got to get to the wire. Comes with a 3.5 millimeter adapter. So you can run it balanced stock or plug this in and you get a right angle 3.5 millimeter. That says Shuoer on it. Comes with a little earwax brush for brushing your ear. Not your earwax, off the tips. We'll get to that because I'm going to probably have it. And it's supposed to come with, and I'll open up Hi-Fi Go because it has a good picture. It's supposed to come with 2 other pairs of, you got to see what they look like. All right, I got to pull them out of my ears. Okay, so this is the silver set. And it's supposed to come with, and I'm pretty sure I can go back to the unboxing. It has these 2 sets of filters and an actual vent in the middle, because they're not open. They're never open, but there's electrostat and a dynamic, and they're trying to let you tune it. So it comes with 2 other alternative filters, which are what goes underneath the tip. I'm gonna be careful with this because these things are huge. I could barely get my Dakoni tips in there. So these unscrew and you can replace these. And then it comes with this little tool that says Tape Pro on it. And that's designed to go in here and unscrew, very easily unscrew into the unsettling amount. These, and oh my God, I don't know how you're even supposed to like, oh, that's a storage area? Because there's nothing in that. That's solid, I think, unless it's a fine mesh. Is that a fine mesh? Hold on, I'm taking this one out. They're real easy to unscrew, like real easy. Like I would, if you get this set, take this tool out, tighten these down before you lose them. So you could unscrew the back of the IM, because that's exactly what Zeos wants in his, all his things need to be unscrewable. Yeah, that one's got an opening. That might just be a storage unit. So I guess you could take them out and make them lighter. So you can, based on what you want to try, and this is like fucking, if you understand, I'm not a jeweler, right, Shuoer? I'm not a jeweler. So let's see if I just take those out. Let's see what that does, because I don't believe it was the blue one, wasn't it? Come on. That one came out like nothing. Jesus, this is, first of all, this is the worst shape for a screwdriver. Just want to point that out. This is just, if this falls on the floor, this review ends just completely. Please don't fall down. Please don't fall down. Damn it, that was the blank one. As we're taking them all out, we're going to give it a listen. That one was actually, I had to actually break the, oh, I could literally just flip it like this. I don't even need to use it like a screwdriver. Because it's such a precise thing. I just like just flinging the end works. Okay, let's put them back in my ear now and give an actual, oh, remember we said we would use this? Here. There's some goop there. Okay. So let's try filterless. Oh, I got to put the tip back. Yeah, so this actual thing is massive. And it doesn't just fit. You have to like stretch it over there to get it to work. I don't think it says anywhere on it to like, hey, try it without anything. But we're going to do that anyway because this is e-reviews and I should have done this before the review. But what the hell fun is that? Oh, no. Oh, it sounds terrible. Wow, those actually do quite a bit. That's the entire backstop for the driver. And by taking out... So I took out the silver ones. Let's put the blue ones in its place. Maybe that's what they're showing. Maybe those are just extra in case you fuck this up. Screw the blue ones. Ah! I'm going to put just the blue ones in over the one that actually looks like has holes. So I'm pretty sure it was the opposite direction. Because these should be to adjust the low end. But I want to see if it affects... Like, that had no low. Like, that was the weirdest... Just now, that was the weirdest sounding, just open, fucking disgusting. Like, no, these are good. I'm going to recommend them. They have a couple S issues with amps, which is why you see a fucking pile of amps. Let's do this now. Let's see. They're very well built. Like, they're insanely well machined. My brother, who was a machinist, will probably look at these and go, holy crap. Because to mass produce something that's machined this cleanly, for this price, it's not even like these are like $600. These are $130. They're the same price as the old Shuoer tapes, which is like, I miss that. I miss things coming out, replacing the old ones and being, or at least competing directly with a slight, you know, change. Ooh. Who is dreaming? Is X-Space on? No. Now it is. Undo. Wow, that's probably the most, okay, wait. I gotta do that. I gotta back that up. I gotta do that. Ow. Okay, all right. I should stop this recording and then just listen a bunch more because now I love them when I was just going to give them like a pass before. So apparently they come with like the mild, I would call those mild filters. And the blue ones, even though they show blue and red and silver, they show all sorts of different fucking ones. I didn't get the red ones. But so far the blue ones, which I've got now in that, way warmer. Like just bring that low end up and like push it into your body, which I prefer in most IMs, especially ones that are like relatively cheap. And I've got the Singer SA1. I've got the topping A50S. I got Class A, I got linear, and I got whatever the fuck IFI does with this thing. I've done a lot of IM reviews with the IFI Zencan. And I felt like because there was such a difference by default listening to this, then listening to this on high gain, then listening on the high Z and then low Z, and then switching to the topping, that I'm like, shit, I need some sort of consistency with the other IMs I reviewed, so I pulled this out. Okay, it's leaking. I thought there's something playing in the background, just slightly leaking at the bottom. So that Lou Reed Raven, the S's, when I first put them in, and I'm like to do it, I got to that song, I'm like, wait, I gotta really, really assess this. The S's were bothering me. I'm like, well, it's electrostatic. It's a Shuoer tape. Pros, of course, the S's are going to bother me. So if I flip the switch from low Z to high Z on this Class A, the S's got better. Huh. All right, let's go to the neutral A50S. I go to that, S's don't bother me at all. It's like they're not there. So then I come back to this, take it off of low gain, put it to high gain, the S's are less on this amp. So then I went to that, and the S's are less. So I don't have to worry about the S's. That was just a very specific, for some reason, low gain on the Singer on low Z was S's bothered me. Electrostats are weird. That's another, more than anything about this review, if you're watching this video, Zeos, what are these going to sound like when I use them? Well, what amplifier are you using? And even if you told me that information, I don't know how they'll sound unless I've tried them and then took in notes. Because electrostats act funny. Like the Kinnear Nana has 2 electrostats. The Starlights have 4 electrostats, I think. And on amplifiers, they act completely weird because it's doing this thing where it's trying to generate a different type of signal out of just a power signal. And so shit can get fucked. So if you just happen to buy a set of these and you had a Singer and you just put it the exact way I had it, like, oh my God, it's so harsh. I have the benefit of like being me and having racks of fucking amplifiers to try things on, which is both a benefit and a detriment. It's a benefit because I get to say, okay, on 62% of amplifiers, these sound phenomenal. But then I also have to have 38% of amplifiers these don't sound good on. And then you go like, well, Zeus, is mine on the list? And I'm like, I don't know. So unplug it for a second. Here's the 2.5 millimeter it comes with. It's got the right angle adapter. I wanted to keep using it balanced. None of these have 2.5 millimeter. This would be great if I was using it on the BTR5, but I had to whip up my DD Hi-Fi adapter. I got a couple of these similar to this that came with other IEMs, but this one you could actually probably go out and purchase. It's just a 2.5 millimeter to right angle 4.4 Pentacon, which is convenient. So if I plug it into, say, this, and get the wire to plug in properly. Was this the one that gave me an issue? Hold on, there was one of these that... Yeah. So you plug that in, you could use it to adapt to other things. I'm going to put on the standard adapter, and then I'm going to take a 1/4-inch adapter out of this and plug that in, and I'm going to plug this in over here, and then we're going to switch this to pre-out because I'm using the pre-out of this to feed that. Unplug this. And put that up 1 gain mode. So much going on right now. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just someone link to the timer. Someone link to this timestamp. Ready? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's it, buddy. Because it's got this like weird soundstage thing going on. It had the highs. It had a couple of the S's were too much, but then that's fixed with amplification. And then it had just enough low end, but it was like kind of I wanted to try with more. And now that I swapped to the blue ones, it's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So now we have the width and the low end and the highs are just teensy weensy bit like right in your eyeballs. Which is good for whatever the fuck creepy Mr. Robot soundtrack is playing. Yes, now I truly love them. See, I even picked that wallpaper because the lady with the sword. I'm like, these are sharp. Sword lady. Now I'd have to go back and pick another wallpaper. Because they're not sword lady anymore. I'm sorry, sword lady. You're no longer required. You may go. I guess that's a good warning, though. It's a warning that, no, just because you get an IEM or a headphone or a speaker, if you don't like the way it sounds, try it on another amp. You don't have another amp? Try it on your friend's amp. Try it on your phone. Try it on an old Walkman. Buy an iPod. Plug it into that. Try something else. Oh. Oh, yeah. All right, electrostats are awesome. having a dynamic is like there's good IMs with just straight up dynamics. That's all they've got. Adding that little bit of flavor of electrostat just to get the highest highs out of it. I'm trying to think of another IM that this competes with, and I guess it's the Shuoer tapes. I mean, they're in my box for a reason, because it would be this and the Starlight. No, not the Starlight. The Starfields. Starlights are $1 million. My bad. I have a lot of IMs, and this happens to be Starlight and Starfield. The Starfields, which I lost those IMs, they're literally, I've never lost an audio product, and I've lost the Starfields. They must have got left somewhere. Where did I go? I don't go anywhere. Maybe they're in my car. I've cleaned my car. I'm having this mental lapse, even though I've been looking for them for like a year. Like, I moved houses knowing the Starfields are missing, and they still haven't shown up. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm going to put 3D on. They don't need it. They don't need X-Base or 3D. How's that? All right, that's good. That's good. Zeos can sell that. Because X-Base and 3D on the IFI, everyone who owns one of these, and you should, if you have only the Zen DAC version, which is like $130, which is the exact same price as these. The Zen Can has those X-Base and 3D buttons. And you know what they do? They give you that woof bass, and you give you that weird dynamic 3D thing. These, by default, have the woof bass once you change those tips out, or the plugs, I guess. And they're doing that holographic 3D thing. So let's plug back into here. Lower, headphone. Leave it on high Z, because why not? Ellie Goulding, by the way, is what I'm listening to. Salt Skin. Oh my God. String Quartet, Nirvana, Come As You Are. Wow, strings, motherfucker. Motherfucking strings. Come as you are. They're very loud. Like they were playing pretty loudly in my ears, but yeah, the sound's emitting out the back of them as well, because there's literally there's vents. These are a yes. Oh, can we get to the wire real quick? Because I don't want to, like, these are yes does not describe the sound. Saying they sound like the Shuoer tapes does not describe the sound. I'm starting to realize that you people aren't watching every single one of my videos, and you aren't me. So, how do I describe sound? Whose job is this anyway? With those, I'm automatically going to tell you put the blue ones in the back. I don't know what the red ones do, because I don't have them, because they just didn't include them. But put the blue ones in so you get this nice warm bass tone stretching way down. Plenty of low end. There's a spatialness to it. It's not just IMs like left and right. It's definitely got the room effect around it, having to do with the acoustical chamber. If we pull one of these off, actually, if I unscrew it like this, I'll guarantee not to lose that. I don't know if you could see that. There is a giant hole. It basically, they built in a waveguide that is a huge tube, brah. There's a huge tube. There's a little tiny hole. I think that's for the electrostat. I think this big, huge motherfucker is for the bass, for the dynamic. Maybe. It could be the opposite way around. I don't know. Oh, by the way, these are 2-pin, in case you're wondering. So you can replace the wire, but we'll get to why you shouldn't do that if you haven't been able to tell already. So yeah, I'm just gonna put this back on. Oh shit! Can I get this to screw on while it's? Nope, I fucked it. Wait, did I unfuck it? I unfucked it. We got it, everybody. Yeah. So the treble, depending on your amplifier setup, you got to understand you're buying these because they have an electrostat. They're not just a dynamic. They're not a dynamic and a balanced armature. They're not just balanced armature. This is the cheapest I think you can get into electret. Electret is what they actually are. It's not electrostatic. I think this is the cheapest you can get into that without getting up to like Nana and Starlight levels. I'll clean these off. So you're going to get a flavor of something that is, it's a lot. The treble can get to you. They do an amazing job of toning it down. Like it's trying to sell somebody a car because it's fast, and then, you know, not crashing it into a tree at 1,000 miles an hour, because you want people to know it's fast. You're buying it because it's fast, but you got to sell them like just gently on the fact, by the way, it is fast. So that's what it's trying to do with the electrostatic driver. It's like, hey, look at me, but you know what? I'm going to calm down, but look at me, so calm down. So if you've experienced the Shuoer tapes, you'll know what these are like, just a little bit more refined. Again, soundstage is decent. It's not huge. The fact that it's open and leaks sound outward sort of adds to that, I think, somehow. It's not like you could just hear through it. It's not like, oh, I'm wearing an open neck headphone. It's not that. Moving quickly to the wire. So again, this is my adapter. This is your adapter. Aluminum. This fucking wire should be, this is like one of the nicer wires I've got in an IM, and I don't think it's made out of like matured silver from the diamond mines of Kentucky. It's a 2-wire. It's only a 2-wire twist. It looks like a piece of pasta like spun together, but inside that 2-wire there's many wires, and when you go up to the actual IMs, this is only the single wire, but you look and then there's at least 2 wires in there spun together, and it looks like those are made of multiple fucking conductors. I love the way this wire looks. This is just like the Terminator of wires, and it's not exceptionally long. This is a 4-foot table, and it's just about with the adapter on the other at 4 feet, but it's like, this is a man's cable. This looks like a piece of like industrial rope you would use to tie off some sort of boat anchor on a science ship. Yeah, and it does this wonderful thing where it just looks fucking exceptional. It's an exceptional looking thing. So yeah, as far as accessories, it comes pretty bare bones, which I'm all right with. It doesn't need more than this many tips. I like foam on my own. Buy Dakoni tips if you can. You got to buy the big ones though, because there's nothing else will fit. I'm kind of upset now I don't have the other ones to try. I'd love to try the red ones. Must be less bass, or the red one's more bass than this, because I don't recommend more than this. And that's just a storage area, so you could leave that empty if you really wanted to, because it's not just for swapping out your other tips. I don't know why I got one. So if I had a red set, I'd be good. I said I got another silver and blue, because I already got a silver and blue. Damn. But yes. All right, so my judgment on these. They're a fucking hell yes. They're a fucking hell yes. Do you need a special amplifier? No. It's worth taking they're $129. Get them wherever you get them, and be like, look, if they don't sound good in the device I'm planning to use, I'll return them. Most places have a really good return policy. I don't think you're gonna want to return them. They have enough modding. If the tips change the sound, and then the filter on the front of behind the tips change the sound, and then the back plates change the sound, you should be able to work in something that actually. See, here's the thing. I don't like the switches on IMs. I don't fucking like the switches. So like, oh, I'm gonna flip the switch and it has more bass, and flip the switch and it has more treble. Because that's fucking, the driver doesn't change. The crossover inside that does resistance things to try to quell stuff. Having these is a physical change of the breathability of the fucking IM. So it can actually physically change how it's handling the sound reproduction. It's so much better. You can't make a bass boost that does what this does, because you literally can't you're adding the whole. More air movement, more driver movement. It's just completely different, and I love that. So yes, $129 well spent. Feel free to jump into that. By the way, here's Shuoer's product catalog. Shuoer. Hello! Impulse the emotion. Don't know what that means. Here's a story behind it. The very first page is the Tape Pro, which apparently is the flagship IM. This flagship product marked the beginning of. So wait, is this a flagship like it was the first one? Or is it the flagship like this is the most expensive one you make? Because if that's the case, then Shuoer, you are doing well because it's nice to have a $129 flagship. Here's apparently the Singer. I've never seen those before. Those are like an earbud. Here's the Soloist. 3D printed chassis, back ported design. Those don't look terrible. We've got the Conductor, which I guess is better than the Soloist because you're the Conductor, obviously. Wait a second. Newest reference, 8 balanced armature, 1 dynamic. That's the flagship. Is there anything beyond that? That's the flagship. So apparently the Conductor is way up there with 8 BA and 1 DD. And then the EJ07, which once they start getting into stupid names... Wow, I don't know which one of these is the best now. So this one is 1 EST, 1 electrostat, 6 balanced armatures and a dynamic. This one is a pair of budget monitors, a Knowles 31706, and a nano carbonite dynamic driver. So is that the best one? Doesn't look like it. I don't know. I kind of feel like I need to do more with Shuoer than just the tapes. This is all I know from them. And it's good, but it shows there could be so much more. So I'll link to these. I'm going to link to one of the random works. I'll find an expensive Shuoer and link to that. I kind of want it. Shuoer? 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 I don't know. I can't ever say it. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. I love them. I changed the backs out and I fucking love them. I put them on balance and different things and I love them. I can't describe harder than that. Try to think what headphones they sort of sound like. Not really. Most IAMs, especially ones that are not a single dynamic, cannot compete with headphones. Actually, see those? The one more triple drivers, one more tridents? Those were a dynamic driver with a flexible backplate and a single secondary driver that was like a 10 by 10 millimeter ceramic tweeter. That's what these sound like. Because there's 2 drivers and you've got the wampum bass from the 10 millimeter, and then they just take the really high highs. And here's an electrostat for you. So there is one headphone that sounds like these. Anyway, I'm done. Wallpaper, girl with sword, who not really is important that she's got that sword, but just know if it doesn't sound 100% when you get them, you might want to just pop a different amp out of your ass. Just pop one out of your ass. Try it. Try your laptop's inboard sound card, because they're not super hard to drive. They just have weird requirements that I don't know how to define. So yeah, Wallpaper, this. Check out Hi-Fi Guides in the Hi-Fi Guides forum. If you want to see these reviews early, because you need to spend extra days determining what my ramblings are all about, check out Patreon and Subscribestar, where you can see reviews like this up to a week early. And then participate in the yard sale. If I sell something, it'll probably, I don't know if I'll keep these or I'll keep the original pros or the non-pros. One of these will end up in a yard sale. Because I like these a fucking lot. I like them way more now with that. But they are missing the thing, which will probably mean I'd have to sell them for less. I mean, how many $129 IMs do I actually need? All of them. That's the key. Yeah, so that. $5 a month, CD reviews early. $5 a month, get you in the yard sale, where I sell things from the first cents of every month. $10 a month, put you in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat, where you can ask me any questions you want directly, and I will answer with my voice, or pictures, or any number of things. Fuck, I want to keep this wire, though. Oh, I want to keep this fucking wire. These is real nice. Anyway, I'm done. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good Christmas, Hanukkah, Easter.